going. How's it going, guys? Welcome to After Hours, where we already drank quite a bit and we're starting a podcast now. In case you didn't know what the name of the podcast is, it's After Hours.
After when? Hours. Just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. After where?
Hours.
After how? Hours. Makes no sense. And so we're here. Maybe I should put that back. That's fine. That's good. That's great.
That should be alright.
Yeah, that's great. I'm Ryan, your host. Darren's over there drinking some water as your co-host. It is 9/11 today, or was 9/11, and we are back with another episode of After Hours. I always want to say Bros and Brews. Shout out to Bros.
I was waiting for you to cue that up, and I was like, "What the deuce?" I was like, "He's about to say Bros and Brews."
Shout out to Bros and Brews because they got me started into podcasting. They got me wanting to do podcasting, and they got me into the idea of being comfortable
with
doing
intros
podcasting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like the Tiny Bird shirt you got, though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
This is the first shirt they put out.
Nice. It's really dope.
It's very unlike them in terms of the shirts they put out.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems very graphic. It seems like a second or a third shirt. But
no,
if it's their first,
it's the very first shirt they put out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, there's been a whole thing about them having it was B and T.
Yeah.
Accidentally put in there before. So it was a Binding Turd, where there's this whole thing where it's Shiny Turd, and other iterations of their
Tiny Bird. I get
two words put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shiny Turd. That's
Shiny Turd. Binding Turd. Yeah. 9/11. And so that's going to be our random of the week, actually. Where were you on 9/11?
So, I remember 9/11 as simply as another day in school, actually. I was in my freshman year of high school, and I remember waking up to the news and my mother having the news on in the living room, and then her very quickly turning it off as soon as I came into the living room, came out of my room. I came out of my room, she very quickly turned off the television and was like, "Get ready for school." And I was like, "Okay, dope." And I just got ready for school and I went to school. First thing I hear in the morning is literally the announcer was half crying, saying, "Hey, if you guys don't want to be here, you don't got to be here today." And I remember just looking around the classroom and just looking and seeing half the class wasn't actually in class, and I was like, "The hell's going on?"
What grade were you in?
I was in my freshman year of high school.
Damn.
Yeah. So I
that's an interesting time to be.
It was. So this is my first time in a high school, and then literally a few months in, I was introduced to this idea that
not even a few months in, it was just 1.5 months in.
Yeah, and I was just damn, yeah, this is a thing, I guess. And then it's I slowly start to realize the implications of what it was after I got out of school, because we got out of school at noon, and to be honest, I was waking up to this stuff. Obviously, a lot of stuff happened before I woke up here on the West Coast. So I woke up, and a lot of the stuff already happened. And then my mother turned off the TV, and then I went to school, and that's another hour or two before I realized the implications of what actually happened.
Yeah.
So that's 11 o'clock East Coast time. I mean, that's middle of the fucking day for them. And me, that's my morning. So by the time noon came around, they just sent us all home. And I was like, damn,
Some shit went down.
Yeah, some shit went down, and I was like, and that's when like it slowly started to build in my mind because I was like, oh shit, like a lot of shit happened, and then I just slowly began to realize, like, you slowly like, I slowly, very, very, very slowly started to grasp the gravity of the situation, of how another country was attacking our country, and I was like, shit. It's like they're attacking, and that's a weird thing that's a weird thing to understand. Is like, like if you thought about it nowadays, it's like, oh, is China attacking? Yeah, they're attacking, and then you have to wrap your mind around that idea. If you don't see it, if you don't see it happening in front of you, you have to be like,
yeah,
happening.
Of course, yeah. Hell yeah. You know what grade I was in?
What's that?
When the whole thing happened? I was in 3rd grade.
Really?
To grasp the idea of how the difference of age
between us.
Between me and Darren. I was in 3rd grade. I remember that day very well, actually. I remember waking up, my grandma would be like, okay, some shit's happening. Like, she didn't even say that. She was like, alright, this is an important day, but you need to go to school. I'm like, alright, I'm going to school. I have no clue what's going on. I had no clue what my grandma was talking to me about. I was just like, alright, I'm going to my 3rd grade class. And my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Jensen, was like, so some things are happening today in this country, and you need to understand the importance of this. You need to understand that this is going to be a day that you are probably going to remember for the rest of the days of your lives.
Yeah.
Because of how important this is to the entire country and the world. And so I was just like, I have no clue what you're talking about, my lady. Like, you're my 3rd grade teacher. I'm trying to learn some algebra, some basic algebra. And all the other kids don't get this. I get this. And then she's just like, go home.
Yeah, I get it.
The entire school's like, go home, be with your family, try to understand this day. I'm like, well, I'm 8, 9 years old. Like, I don't understand this day.
No, like, the only thing I really remember from that is that, like, a lot of people were afraid of, like, anything international being a point of threat, which the only thing in Arizona that's international is Sky Harbor. So they thought that like all international airports, like, they were potentially a target because all flights were leading there, and like, since most of the people who were hijacking planes couldn't read the radar, they were just going to crash into the thing that was closest on the radar. Yeah. So we weren't, like, a lot of people in Arizona weren't too afraid for, like, the schools or the public offices that were around, because the only thing that really showed up on the radar was the international airport.
Yeah.
And that was a thing. But it was still a point of, like, heightened importance, because even in high school, they were telling us, it's like, yeah, this is a day to remember, because it's like, even though you're here, and even though your parents were okay with sending you to school today, it is, like, worth remembering that this is a day of importance.
Like, I basically got sent to school not knowing, with our family members not even knowing what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, it was that early for us on this side, compared to the other side, where it's like, oh, like, by the time I was walking to school, it was just being barely sent for, like, things on this side of the country to be like, oh, some shit's happening on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, to be fair, like, my family gets up pretty goddamn early. Like, we used to get up around 3 o'clock in the morning and start watching the news. So but to
be honest, for them it's like 10 o'clock a.m.
No,
by the time I start walking to work. Or we're not work, but school.
Yeah. So at like 3 o'clock, it's pretty much 7 o'clock a.m. on that side of the country. So when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and my family gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're not looking at news for locally. We're looking at news generally as like a country news, and that's what we would watch. And it wasn't because of 9/11 that we did that. It was just a thing we did because we kept up with the news in the country. Yeah. But thankfully, my mom paid attention to it, and she realized we weren't, like, even though the Pentagon later in the day was attacked, that's when she called us. Like, literally, like, when we got sent home at noon, she was like, at 1 o'clock, she called home, and it was like, are you guys home? Are you guys safe? Are you guys okay? And we're like, yeah, just, she's like, oh yeah, she's like, good. It's like, just stay home and be safe.
I honestly, looking back at it, it's kind of hilarious.
It is. It's a little bit like, it's a little...
To think about, like, oh, like, why would we be targeted at this point? You know?
Yeah.
Like not the U.S. in general, but, like, us in these, like, little small towns in the Navajo Reservation.
To be fair, like, Flagstaff was a small town back then.
Yeah, Flagstaff too, yeah. And I just wasn't worried.
Yeah, I wasn't either. Like, to be honest, I wasn't worried at all. I looked at it and I was like, who the fuck would want to bomb us? I was like, if you're gonna crash a plane into anything, you're gonna maybe kill like 100 people.
Yeah, and that's an odd thing to think about.
Yeah, it's compared to like, well, it's a little bit of a sad thing to say, but like, compared to the thousands you could have killed, like crashing into a different government building, we weren't a big target. We were a very small target.
No, yeah, and that's the truth. But anyways, moving past this point, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but I feel like it was maybe shouted or not. Our subject for this week is aliens in general. In movies, music, TV shows, games, and anime. Heck yeah. Because last week we definitely touched on the subject quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's just aliens.
That's just aliens.
My God. I almost feel like that should be a shirt at some point. That's just aliens.
Oh God. You know what? I could see that become a meme and just be like, that's just aliens. It's like, how dare you? That's just aliens. Oh God.
But yeah.
So I'd love to see that though. just to have somebody like in like a random comment section just be like, "That's just aliens."
That's just aliens. Like it's like straight to the top. Like you get $20, whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna sell you.
It'd be fucking hilarious.
So movies. Obviously, we got to mention Aliens. Alien 3, Covenant, Requiem, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, to build upon that, like, my first one is Prometheus.
Prometheus. Is that your first one?
That is my first one, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Prometheus.
I like Prometheus.
Dude, like, just upon the entire, like, alien saga itself, I mean, obviously it started out in the 80s, like, early 70s into the 80s, all the way into the 90s, and then all the way into our day. But, like, it's just a great story. It's amazing.
Yeah,
like, I love it. Like the way they handled that story in general. Like they didn't like. I love the fact that they didn't like try to push it to be like a prequel to what happened in Alien, and I like that they didn't try to make it a sequel to what happened in Alien. It was just another part of the universe where they like tell a different story of it.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
So, one of the most famous lines in horror history is, "You can't hear screams in space."
Yeah,
and that line actually came from Alien.
Yeah.
Alien is one of the best, and I'm gonna say again, is one of the best great horror films out there.
Yes, I would agree.
There's a lot of things happening there that you wouldn't expect to happen because of actors that were in there. But at the same time, because when Alien came out, Sigourney Weaver wasn't even a big actress.
No.
That is her big break. And to get a big break from a horror film
and be the lead actress
is not something to scoff at.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if your name is known because of something that is within the horror genre, if it's not something to be laughed at and anything of that sort, like, if it's something that is praised upon,
I would kind of compare it to
you did something right.
Yeah, I would kind of compare it to the idea of being like, hey, you're a very famous actor because you started in an indie film and you made your name in this indie film. Like, if I'm not too sure, I don't follow movies enough to know if there's an actor that has actually done that, but like, if you're an actor who started in an indie film and you became like an A-list celebrity after that, that's what it's compared to. It's amazing. It's amazing the feat that she did.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically on that point. And so I feel like the Alien franchise is something to push upon towards the idea of our subject, which is aliens and movies as Alien.
Do you have a favorite part in Prometheus?
Prometheus. Actually, one of my favorite parts is when, which is like one of my least favorite parts at the same time, is when the ship is like rolling towards that way. She could have like started like running like to the right a little bit and could have like survived.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron, this character, but she didn't. She just kept running straight forward and still died. You know?
Yeah.
And that was my favorite and least favorite part. It's because she could have just like swerved to the right and she could have probably made it.
One of my favorite parts is the discussion between the AI and the alien. And it was like,
what's his face? What is his face? What is his name? Doesn't matter. Continue with your control.
No, the discussion between the AI and the alien and how they were like debating whether or not to save the human race, and it was like, well, not to save the human race, but to like allow the human race to exist, was amazing because you get both senses of the idea. Like, you get a truly like altruistic idea, and then you get the super feels, and the feels don't come from the fucking alien. They come from the robot. They come from the AI.
Yes.
Like the comprehension of feelings comes from an AI intelligence, not from biological matter. Biological matter is trying to push to be more toward like an AI's sense of mind. But an AI sense of mind understands how much feeling, it understands the importance of feeling. And I think that's where humans are. As we are kind of that middle ground, and we're like, and I think that's why a lot of things that what people do as humans are forgivable, is that we're at a boiling point. It's like we could either boil to like a super extreme, or we could boil towards like a super soft extreme. But like at the same time, we're all right. Like all portions of that are pushing us towards the top of the best that we could be.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Was the
yes.
By the way,
Michael Fassbender.
which is what I was looking up.
No. I'm pretty.
Great
No,
actor.
okay. So I'm pretty sure that motherfucker is what do you call it? The hell is he? What the fuck was his name? From The Boys.
The Boys.
The Boys. Fuck is his name?
What are you talking about?
He's got like a super patriotic name. I forget what the fuck it was.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You haven't seen The Boys?
No.
Oh my god.
No, I haven't. But we've talked about
Homelander. His name's Homelander in The Boys. Amazing show.
The Boys. Is that the Amazon show?
Yeah. Amazing shit.
Is he Homelander?
I'm pretty sure he is.
I've heard of the Amazon show. I have not seen any of it. I've heard great things about it in terms of it being very grounded, realistic in terms of what heroes would be at this point in time if we were like in this situation.
If we were like in the same, occupying the same kind of space.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to kill that person, but I'm helping out humanity. I'm out here.
Yeah. So like it deep dives into that, and it's like, oh god, the show itself is amazing.
The Boys, yeah.
The Boys.
Is he in that?
I feel like he is. I don't know if Michael Fassbender's Homelander, but I feel like he is. I want to look that up.
Okay.
I don't have my phone, so I can't.
Another movie, alien movie that we haven't really mentioned or touched upon, I feel like, in this podcast was District 9. Which is a fucking great movie. I don't know if you know this, but when they were first creating District 9, they were creating it to be the Halo movie. They were planning to make it a Halo movie. And then they're like, oh, we're not going to be able to make this movie on this type of budget. And so then they made it into the story they made it. Which was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a Halo movie.
Yeah.
You know? And, but either way, like, the movie they made a lot of sense. It touched on a lot of bases that make sense today in, like, America today or the world today.
Just world government in general. Yeah.
But it's District 9, my guy. Like, that shit fucking hits home. And it doesn't just hit home, it hits a home run.
I get it. I get you on that one. Like, literally, like, I mean, in the sense that, like, what they were in South Africa, and they were all the minority people were the alien population, and they were being encamped in this enclosure.
They were put into camps and shit. Like, okay, you guys are gonna be here, and then we're gonna try and watch you from this point.
Yeah.
And then they had this whole entire ship that they couldn't access, and then there was one guy's like, oh, I can access it, but you gotta give me the time and the technology to be able to, like, fly up back to the ship.
Yeah.
And then those people that are trying to do that were, like, considered, like,
hostile aliens.
Yeah. And it was like, no, I'm just trying to get home. And it was just the whole thing.
Yeah.
But, there's just misunderstandings. What was the basis of that movie, I feel like.
It really is. And to be honest, like, that was the whole thing about, like, the World of Wars. Like, at the beginning of, like, remember the beginning of the World of the Wars?
I don't know that movie.
Really?
Well,
like, at least, like, the new one. You've seen the new one, right?
World War Z?
No. War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds. The one where the aliens have come down.
Where the aliens come up out of the earth.
Dakota Fanning?
No. It's the one where they, like, literally, like, where the aliens are already embedded within Earth, and they just start to rise from the Earth.
No, I have no clue.
But we end up like it's a George Orwell story where like literally like we lay claim to this earth because we're the ones who dealt with the disease and
George Orwell with the War of the Worlds.
Yes. Not just from the book, but like they made a movie about it back in the 80s, and then they made a newer one about it in the 2000s.
With Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Did you know when he first put it out, plenty of people committed suicide because they thought it was actually happening?
The original World Wars?
Yeah, the Orwell version, yeah. He wrote the book, he wrote the play, and they played it over radio. And the people...
Yeah, there was mass panics around the world.
Yeah, the people hearing it over the radio thought it was real.
Yeah.
And a lot of people committed suicide with their families.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah, because of mass panic.
And
that's when they realized they had to televise that hey, this is just a story.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And War of the Worlds, that was a...
That created mass panic.
That was the thing.
It did. But the War of the Worlds. I forget the reason why I was bringing it up. I mean, mainly because it was Alien. But
it is aliens, yeah.
But it was it's a really good story. I love it. The idea that they were technically here before us, but we lay claim to Earth because we were the population that lived on Earth the longest. Well, we lived on the surface the longest.
Yeah, I've never read the book.
Okay.
I've seen the movie. That's about it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've heard the stories of people being very frantic about it back then, and I'm just like, oh shit, that's fucked up. You know? Like,
yeah.
That is a fucked up thing to like be frantic about, and I would be frantic about it. You know, like, if I thought it was real, and I would just be like, I don't know if I would take my own life, but like I would definitely try to do something about it.
Yeah, like it's very good in depicting like social decay. Yeah. In the sense that like, oh yeah, well, almost all borders, like even like his next door. Okay, so one of the scenes is like his next door neighbor tries to get in his car. He has plenty of room within his car to like let him in, but he's like no. He's like no man, just back away. And he's trying to be polite about it. It's just like, hey, he's like, yeah, no, my family's in this car. Get away from the car. And then it literally just like you just see how that social decay like literally like devolves into like chaos. Yeah. Even between people who recognize each other, and it's like, oh shit. I was like, this is serious.
Yeah. No. And I feel like that's almost how it would play out too, you know?
Yeah, it's very good at depicting that. That was my whole point.
Yeah.
It's like,
heck yeah, dude. TV shows?
Shows.
That's an obviously.
So
I feel like we always go to this to like the most right direct way to go from movies to TV shows to wherever to this to that.
What do you got for shows? How about that?
Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could have easily put that in the movies, right? Yeah. But Stargate as a TV show, Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, Stargate whatever the fuck, however many different
iterations
of the show they had. Like, it was a good show, and I enjoyed watching those shows. They had great stories, and they. To
be honest, I never watched any of the Stargates.
Sure, yeah, and that's fine, you know? Yeah. But I feel like just because of my uncle, right? Yeah. My uncle was really into Stargate as the movie, and then when the Stargate TV show came out, he was like, oh, this is based off of the movie Stargate. I'm like, alright, I like the movie. I can watch the show. And then the show started, and it was just like different like plot holes, different things that were going on. Like Egyptian gods, other gods, this, and then it went to Atlantis, and then this whole other thing. I'm like, dude, it's like constantly putting up things that I wouldn't expect it to put up. And it
just jumps between so many timelines.
It just had, like, as an underestimated sci-fi show that it is,
yeah,
it put out as much as it wanted to, you know? It, like, most sci-fi shows I see that are great are always underestimated. This show is one of those shows, Stargate, and it just put out everything that it wanted to because it was essential for the story, and the story is right.
Yeah, and I feel like that makes more sense than like Battlestar Galactica, like where it literally just instead of like creating a story, it just made up shit to like fill in holes.
Yeah,
like obviously, if your story has a hole somewhere, there's a galaxy full of fucking stars and planets that could like, you could make this one to like
just add that in there.
It's like this one planet out of the millions could be the filler.
Halfway through the first season of Battlestar Galactica, when they first came out with it, again, quote unquote, again, they came up with the whole idea of Eden, like Earth wasn't the first Earth. Like, there was a whole other planet that came from this whole thing. Like, let's find Eden. And it was like, what? Like,
yeah,
like, you want to add that? Like, that goes against everything, against Christianity, I guess, you know? But anyways, let's go with it.
It tries to build on, like, the current lore we have on Earth.
Yeah.
On different planets.
Yeah.
My favorite, like, okay, so the one that would really have to deal with, like, actual outer space is Firefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually never seen it.
Oh.
So people, like, I don't want to go into it with the hype that people gave me. You know?
Okay.
You know? Like, so, I don't want to be disappointed.
I mean, okay. So, don't be disappointed at all. But it's only 12 episodes.
I know.
It's only 12 episodes.
I know the basis behind it, right? Okay.
So, it's only 12.
Greatest season that people put out with Firefly, right? It's a sci-fi original. Is that right? Is it a sci-fi original?
It is, actually.
I believe it's a sci-fi original. And then they did a great season, and then they canceled it. And
so nobody ever watched it, and so it got canceled.
But people loved it.
It was its pilot. Yeah, it was its pilot season. People nobody had watched it, so they got the entire show got canceled.
And then so like 2 or 3 years later, they actually came out with a movie to like have a whole wrapping up type of thing for
the show.
The show.
The show that they created so far.
Yeah.
And so this is the thing. The show was supposed to be like they already mapped out like 4 seasons of the goddamn show before they even created the show. So they were like, "Hey, this first season, this is what we got." And then the movie that came out was supposed to be a movie that they already had out. And then but they also used that movie itself to like when the show got canceled, they were just like, okay, well, we should just tie up all the loose ends in general with this movie. So that's what they did, is that they made the movie and then they tied up all the loose ends and just made the show end. But the show ended before that. So, amazing show. Like, literally. If you watch it nowadays and recognize the time it came from, the thing is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's like it's got story, it's got fucking it's got the drama.
And to be honest, it projected a lot of good actors, voice actors.
It did,
and everything to like get their
career started. Yeah, it had such a cult following that like. Almost all the main characters and actors, when they were in it, they fucking got like roles right after that. They made it. So, in the sense that the show working for the actors, yes, it worked for the actors very well. The show itself, not so much.
One of the characters, or one of the actors, became a voice actor for one of the characters in Destiny.
Really?
That I fucking love. Cade 6, yes. And I'm gonna talk about that later, but hell yeah, dude. Like, that guy became one of my favorite characters in one of my favorite games to ever play. So.
He's a Fallon. I forget his name. Fuck. No, his last name's Fallon.
Is it Fallon?
Yeah.
Like Jimmy?
Yeah. Yes. But he's not related. It's like he makes a
no relation.
He makes a point of saying that too. But I know his last name's Fallon.
Something Fallon. No relation.
No relation. Oh God. You remember people saying that?
No relation. This is the fucking first episode of Rick and Morty. He was like, Prince of Vagina, no relation.
God.
That cracked me up, but I was just like, no, he did not just say that.
Motherfucker. No relation.
Prince of Vagina, no relation. Something you would probably not expect me to mention at this point in Aliens, the subject we have, which is aliens on TV shows, is Adventure Time. And there's a whole thing with that.
I was expecting more Steven Universe, but whatever.
I mean, Steven Universe, sure. Steven Universe has that's an obvious choice.
Yeah.
But Adventure Time. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the penguin that the Ice King rules over, and he's like, "Oh, Gunther, blah blah blah, do this. Gunther, blah blah blah, do this." Gunther is actually an alien. He was actually one of the most original beings in the universe in terms of Adventure Time. And that's something I wanted to mention, is that not many people know that Adventure Time has original aliens.
Yeah, just like Ice-T.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're going off cartoons.
And Adventure Time goes all the way to Mars, my guy. Like Abraham Lincoln from Mars.
Yeah, you realize that the entire show is like based upon like post-apocalyptic world, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, most definitely. But it also has a lot of alien thematic themes.
Yeah.
In terms of trying to progress its story forward.
That's fair.
I know I said a lot of things that were very what do you call it?
I don't know. Like a rehash of everything? I don't know.
Not just a rehash, but like a
reiteration.
Reiteration. That could be a thing.
Okay.
Maybe that's the word. I don't know. But Adventure Time. Aliens. If you've never watched Adventure Time, definitely do it. I showed Darren last week like a compilation of LSP. My beans.
But you know what's horrible is like I've seen that scene, and like he showed me a compilation, and it was like, oh yeah, that's a part of this series. And I'm like, fuck, why would you show me something that reminds me of that? It's like, why would you show me directly something that reminds me of exactly what it was?
Oh, it's so hilarious when LSP like drop, like when Finn accidentally slaps her LSP's beans out of her hands, and she's like, my beans! She's like, oh yeah, I've been living out here on my own, doing my thing, and then fucking Finn comes out of nowhere, accidentally hits her beans out of her hands. She's like, my beans! It's such a great scene. But you know, like, that's Adventure Time though. You know, like, you don't know what you're gonna see, and it means when I have kids, I'm gonna be honest. When I have kids, I'm definitely gonna show every fucking episode to my kids at least 3 times over, because Adventure Time actually has like a lot of thematic importance to life.
To be honest, this is what I remember from Adventure Time. Adventure Time. Okay, no. This is what not what I remember about Adventure Time itself, but I remember Adventure Time, regular show, and then Amazing World of Gumball. And it was like all those things were around the same time. Like that wasn't even a full hour block. That was just 45 minutes of the hour.
Each episode was like 15 minutes. Yeah, you're right. Each of those shows were fucking great.
Yeah, they were regular shows. They were all great.
A couple of years ago, I think it was like a week ago.
Yeah.
A week ago was the 10th anniversary of regular show. And then Amazing World of Gumball, so underrated. So underrated.
God.
Compared to the last 2 shows we just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes, so underrated.
Amazing World of Gumball, fucking just magic. Magic in itself.
Okay, but yeah, Adventure Time is directly related to aliens.
What about Steven Universe? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around.
I'm just fucking around. If you want to delve into Steven Universe,
we're not going there. We're not going to the Steven Universe.
We can do that.
Like the furthest we're gonna go is like Gazpacho.
Gazpacho. That's not even Steven Universe. That's it's chowder.
Yeah, chowder.
Chowder. Chugga.
God damn. Fucking chowder, dude.
I was like, one of my favorite jokes in that thing was, like, Monk, why does this ham complain so much? Because, Chowder, we cooked it in wine.
What's wrong with you? Oh god!
Oh my gosh, that was comedic gold right there, my guys.
Cooked in wine.
We cooked it in wine.
Why does it complain so much? We cooked it in wine. Use that one at the next family get together.
You got any other TV shows?
No. I'm done mentioning shows.
Right.
Wait. Am I?
Are you?
No. I'm done mentioning shows.
All right, we're going to anime. Then to the games. Sound good?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm just gonna quickly try to go over these 2 shows. All right.
Okay.
Which is hard to do because I absolutely love these shows.
Okay.
And I've mentioned them before, which is why I want to quickly go over them.
Yeah.
Fully Cooley. Definitely an alien show, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely an alien show.
Yeah.
Aliens want to fly in our brains so that we don't think too much.
Yeah. They're trying to infest our brains.
And it's a whole thing throughout the show.
Yeah.
Those eyebrows. Haruko.
Mm-hmm.
Haruko? I don't know how to say it. But she was on Earth to find the
to seek him out.
to to seek the one dude out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a dude or she's a dude. He's a dude. We a dude. We're all dudes.
You went through the whole thing, huh? I'm a dude. You're a dude.
You're a dude.
We're all dudes.
But yeah, you know, like it's a 6-episode epic.
Yeah.
You know, like it has so many different philosophical things embedded into those 6 episodes that it's just so amazing, and at the same time so
musical,
and but at the same time so anime-esque. You know, it has...
Yeah, it's got that over-the-top anime style to it.
It's got the over-top anime style. It's got the over-top storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, it's
very exaggerated. Very. To a... Like, if you don't understand anime and you watch Fooly Cooly to start with, like, that's... You're opening yourself up to all of anime.
Exactly, and I feel like we've mentioned Fooly Cooly before, right? Mm-hmm. But we've never talked to it as a point of it being from an alien perspective.
That's fair.
And
I think it's weird that like she's part of it.
Yeah.
It's like the reason she can sense the things that are coming to Earth is because she's one of them.
Yeah, and it's very
it's weird.
She's a protagonist in the show.
she's technically the protagonist, not the actual protagonist.
Not the actual protagonist, but she's like the direct person who's helping the protagonist.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's such a good show.
No,
you gotta watch it.
Okay, so the way I would kind of describe this protagonist, you know how in the Never-Ending Story, where the kid reading the story is obviously the protagonist.
Yeah.
But Atreyu's the one that's actually the person that's
going through it.
That pushes the story along, and then is the one that is the hero of the story,
and then loses the horse. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I mean, you don't have to go all the way that way with it, but
every time I think of that,
fucking
God damn it, dude! It's like, no, don't get stuck in the fucking mud. Like, Rayu, I'm so sorry.
Oh God! But it's the same sense. It's in the same sense. That's what Fooly Cooly is. It's this never-ending story where even though you're following the story of the person reading the story, that's not the hero of the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's this other person that's the hero of the story, technically. And I feel like that's what Fooly Cooly is. It's like technically you're following along with a person that's pushing the story along, but they're not the hero of the story.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And it has one of the best philosophies in anime that I like.
Yeah.
Next to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay.
And one of my favorite quotes from there is swing the bat, my guys. You know, just swing it.
That's some signs, you dick. Swing away.
Swing. I mean, it's science.
That's an alien movie.
But
swing away.
But
you like how it just tied that in?
I do. I love it. But there is a whole different. Before signs actually came out, that was a thing. Swing the bat.
Yeah.
You know, and. If I'm being totally honest, maybe my boy M. Night Shyamalan got it from Fooly Cooly. I don't know.
He might have. He's over here ripping off the Asians all the time. I'm just kidding.
Hey, what do you have down for anime?
Okay. Sorry.
It wasn't fully cool, yo.
No. This one was a little different. Tales of a Cautious Hero.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Really?
No.
Oh my Jesus. Tales of Cautious Hero is a crazy story about like a hero. Obviously, he's super cautious. That's the entire story. What they don't tell you, spoiler alert, if you've never watched the series, I mean, great story all the way through. But he's like, so there's these goddesses who are supposed to guide a hero through a world who they're supposed to guide a hero through a world they're going to save. So there's this guy who failed. Well, you don't learn this till the end, but he failed to save a world that she was a part of, and the goddess doesn't realize she was a part of that world, but she became a goddess. And once she became a goddess, she lost her memory of becoming a goddess because he wasn't there to save her. So the entire time during the story, he's trying to be the most cautious and trying to be like, hey, I need to be the most powerful thing on this planet. And he does. He becomes the most powerful thing in all, like, within the entire galaxy. But he's only trying to save one planet. Mm-hmm. And he just, like, the entire way through the story, he's literally just cucking everything. Like, every being on this earth is boasting themselves to this imaginable series. Like, oh yeah, I can do all this. And he's just like, fuck yourself. I got this. I can counter it this way. Fuck yourself. And like, he's literally like shitting on this goddess the whole time. The entire time, she doesn't realize he is the greatest thing in the universe. Like, she picks him because his stats are unimaginable. Like, his intro stats are ridiculously outweighing the entire planet. He was like, oh yeah, well, this guy should easily be, like, I could easily take this one guy and make him wipe the entire planet and clear this level. Like, level as in planet. Like, this guy could easily do it. He doesn't easily do it.
Yeah.
He ensures the fact that he's 10 times more powerful than everything he ever faces. The entire series through.
What is this series called?
Tales of a Cautious Hero.
Tales of a Cautious Hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's amazing. Oh.
What's wrong?
I just fucking cramped up.
I mean, you were moving your legs around and everything, so I could imagine.
A little bit, but it's amazing the way the story plays out. Like, so technically he's an alien from a different planet summoned to this planet, and like, he does save the planet, but he's also an alien to a lot of other planets that he's potentially going to save. And at the end of the story, that's when he finally made the connection that, like, the goddess and the hero are connected in a way, and they're going to go throughout the universe and save a shitload of planets.
Hell yeah. Cool. So we went through movies, TV shows, anime. Oh shit, I have one more in terms of anime. And
I got one more too.
We should probably like touch base on both of those. My last anime was Naruto. Because at the end of, okay, spoiler alert, obviously, if you've ever watched Naruto, and if you haven't, like, go watch Naruto. Like, what's wrong with you? Naruto Shippuden. Don't skip the fillers. You're gonna miss some things.
I don't feel like that's a show about Earth at all. I think that's just an entirely different universe.
It's a different universe, right? But it also deals with aliens.
Fair.
At the end, like
at the very end,
at the very end, like,
at the very end, yes.
It has like like they tell you a whole story about like how an alien came to Earth to give everyone chakra,
the abilities,
ninjutsu.
yeah,
and you know like that's a whole thing.
It is.
That is a whole thing. Like between the story of Kaguya and the Sage of the Six Paths, and the Otsutsukis and stuff, and then like to be honest, like that comes back as a whole big theme in Boruto that like is overlooked as not being important because Boruto isn't a great show compared to Naruto. And I just hate that. I just hate that as an aspect of people like looking at Boruto.
No, I plan on like starting up on like watching the series of Boruto, and I want to like catch up on the idea because it does touch on a lot of the stories I want to keep up with, but at the same time, I'm just not invested because, well, personally, I'm not invested because to be honest, the story between Sasuke and Naruto ended, and that was a big finisher for a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just hated Sasuke for most of the show actually, because he was like a little emo puppy.
See, and that's the weird thing is like a lot of like, and I think a lot of people agree with the idea that like Sasuke was one of the. Even though he was a very hated character, you could relate with him a lot better than Naruto.
Whenever I took those BuzzFeed like which character are you type of thing, I was always Naruto.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the people that like I grew up around, they could relate more with Sasuke than Naruto. It's like, I mean, to be honest, I related more with Sasuke. I was always the head of my class. I was always more intelligent than most people. I was more athletic than most people. And I was like, but I don't feel like I'm a part of most people.
Yeah, no, I agree with it. Like,
yeah.
Looking at where you're at now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, where I'm at now, like, I had to work really hard to get how good I am with the things I do.
Yeah,
like there's no way I would get to this point if I didn't try hard.
And I think that's a good. I think it's a good middle ground because like I had to be honest, I had to work my way into like. I had to work my way into accepting that people weren't. Not that they weren't capable of doing what I was doing. It's just that they weren't interested in being as capable as I was. Like, I fully agree that people can be as capable as I can. It's just that I took the time out of my life to go be as capable as I was.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not a passion that a lot of people have. Yeah. I took a passion in seeing how far my body and my mind would go. And it was enlightening to me. But I also had to scale that back to become friend to normalize myself. I had to like scale a lot of those feelings of like pushing beyond boundaries to like make friends. I had to scale back a lot of my ambitions to be like, hey, I can't always be this far ahead of somebody and then relate to people on a normal plane, and it kind of sucks in that way.
No, yeah, that makes sense. But any other animes?
Dragon Ball Z.
I had a feeling. Like, if you didn't,
oh my god!
If you didn't say it, I would have it as an honorable mention.
Oh my god!
If you didn't say it, I was gonna have it as an honorable mention.
Fucking Dragon Ball, dude. Ultimate power. Who doesn't recognize with Dragon Ball Z? Come on. Like everybody got it.
Okay, so If you don't know the aspects of aliens,
a goddamn Kamehameha.
If you don't know the aspects of aliens within Dragon Ball Z, just fucking watch Dragon Ball Z.
You know what? You can even do the new version and just watch Dragon. Like, if you don't want to watch the old version of it, just watch Dragon Ball Kai.
Gets through it so much faster.
So much faster. So much faster.
True. Yes. But you know, like, it's that.
That story.
We've mentioned this at the beginning of this fucking show that we started, which is After Hours.
Yeah.
But you know, like, we had our friend Bask on here.
It's one of the founding ideas of fucking After Hours.
It got me into anime.
Yeah,
that's the show that got me into anime. Like, like, fuck you. Like, if I didn't watch Dragon Ball Z, I wouldn't be as much in anime as I am now.
You know what's hilarious? But one of the most defining moments I've had in my high school era is I was sitting down in the recreation center, and I was like, okay, so Dragon Ball Z came on at 5 o'clock, which was an hour after I got out of class. So I would go to the recreation center, which was literally half a block away from where I was going to school.
Sure.
So I went to the recreation center, I played some pool, did whatever for half an hour. And then I was able to sit on the couch, flip to the fucking channel, and then just be have 5 or 6 other dudes just be in the same room, and we all wanted to watch the same show, and we were like, fuck
Dragon
yeah.
Ball.
Yeah. And then this is one of the defining moments I had. My girlfriend, at the time, she sat next to me. She literally, I sat down. I fucking put it to the channel. All the other people were like, yeah, it's a great show to watch. She got up out of this, we had a little 2-seater couch cushion to ourselves that we were laying in.
Sure.
She physically got up, went to a different seat, and sat in it, and then started watching the show from there. And then some other chick came from out of nowhere, and she was like, oh, troubles at home, huh? And I was like, fuck yourself. She was asked to insist that there was a problem between me and my girlfriend at the time, and I was just
because you couldn't watch Dragon Ball Z together?
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? She chose to fucking sit over there. Fuck her.
Well, I mean that's her problem.
I was like, if she doesn't want to watch this great show with me and all the other random strangers in this room, I'm okay with that. Because you know what? I'm gonna watch it.
I was like, I'm having a good time. I'm watching this shit.
It made the only thing that made me upset is that she physically got up out of a comfortable position to walk away from this show. And I was like,
that's like,
and I was like, you know what? You could have just kept your eyes closed for 30 minutes and just I could have held you for 30 minutes, and we could have just you could have.
we could have been fine.
We could have been fine for 30 minutes with you just laying there, but no, you had to physically get up and walk away from this.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on the show. My very first episode that I remember seeing of Dragon Ball Z was when they first landed on planet Namek. And Gohan, Krillin, and Chi-Chi were first exploring planet Namek. That was the first episode I saw.
Really?
That is the very first episode of Dragon Ball Z I saw.
Oh my god. So you never saw the original Dragon Ball where they were kids?
I've seen it.
Afterwards.
I've seen it after that fact. Okay. But that was the first episode I saw. Very first, that was my introduction to Dragon Ball Z, was that episode. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna watch this every fucking Saturday night.
So you never got to experience Krillin being a beast?
No, I haven't. The fact that Krillin is great, technically, Krillin is one of the strongest humans in the world.
He is the most comparable to Goku.
He is the most strongest humans in the world.
No, he is the most comparable to Goku in general.
And he doesn't get the credit for that.
He doesn't.
He doesn't get the credit. He doesn't get the credit he deserves.
So the person that gets credited most to that's not an alien, well, not a non-Saiyan, that is credited to Goku the most is Piccolo, which is a lie because Krillin is right under Goku.
Can we talk about Master Roshi? Master Roshi,
But that's
also
my point.
right next to Krillin.
Yeah, right under Krillin.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because both of those beings, being earthly beings,
Yeah.
being compared to a Saiyan at all in general, is a feat in itself.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes. Very.
Am I right?
Very. Oh, that's why, like... I mean, that's why Tien's a thing. That's why fucking... Oh, my God.
Chaozu,
Yeah.
Yamcha. Given Yamcha has some shit, right? Yamcha has been given some shit.
No.
He's been one of the weakest Z warriors.
Yes, one of the weakest Z warriors. But
being one of the weakest Z warriors means that you're one of the most powerful beings in the world.
No. No. He's one of the most powerful Dragon Ball characters. He's better than Yamcha and Tien.
I'm talking about Yamcha.
Yeah, no. What I mean, like, okay, so Yamcha and Tien surpass him when they go into Z, but in the original Dragon Ball, he's better than both.
No, yeah, I'm talking about Yamcha though. In general, Yamcha, one of the like low end characters in Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah.
But even Yamcha being at the lower end of the spectrum in the Z Warriors,
Yes.
is still one of the most powerful warriors in the world.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's all I'm saying.
He's recognizable on that scale as one of the most powerful in the world. Do you have a favorite Dragon Ball moment at all?
I do, but it's one of the most cheesiest moments in the
What is it?
in the franchise. When Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2, like for one of the first times, when he's going against Super Cell in the Cell
Perfect
Sagas.
Cell.
And he's there with like his arm all like fucking fucked up, and he's like Kamehameha, and then his dad's buying him Goku, and he's just like and then
The ghost of his dad and like all the other people.
and then Vegeta going like doing his thing, and then Piccolo doing his thing, and then they just overtake Cell, and then just destroy every quote unquote cell, so that he wouldn't come back. That was my favorite moment in Dragon Ball Z. Is that moment where Gohan was able to overcome Cell.
Perfect Cell.
Perfect Cell. Yeah.
That's a great moment. That really is. That's one of the like defining moments of Dragon Ball Z. My absolute favorite moment is when Vegeta makes his final sacrifice against Majin Buu.
The Boo series.
Yeah.
It's such a good series.
Yeah.
So much sacrifice, actually, in that series.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, oh, the Z sword's gonna help us out.
Like,
and then it just breaks, and then it's just like...
And a lot of people don't realize that's the Vegeta's sacrifice was the end of a season. It technically wasn't the end of a season, but it was like the mid-season where they stopped making episodes for the next week, and it was
for a hot second.
Yeah. So like it was that mid-season like
finale,
and then once that happened, I was like, everybody was like, fucking come out with the next goddamn shit already. And you were just like, oh my god. But like that was one of the most epic things at the time. Like, especially because it was so. I loved it mainly because it was so out of character. It was one of those things where it's like you understood that Vegeta was a good person, but he was never making good actions, and that's the first time that he sacrificed everything.
Yeah.
He
put humanity ahead of himself.
No, like it's the first time you see somebody make a shitload of fucked up decisions to do the right thing.
Yeah,
in a sense,
I'm wrong. It wasn't even his family. It's not even humanity he was trying to get out. It was his family, right?
Yeah.
At that point, he actually had a family.
Yeah,
and he put his family ahead of himself.
But you got to think about it in this timeline. So this is the way it progressed for me. So Vegeta's not a person. He's not devoid of pride. He wants to be
not even close.
Yeah, he's
almost the essence.
He is
pride.
Yeah, he is almost the essence of pride. So he wants to be the most powerful thing in the world. So one of the things that could make him the most powerful things in the world is Majin Buu and his power boost.
Yeah.
So, well, the Majin symbol, which is the M on his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes on the symbol to become one of the most powerful things, and then you realize that Majin Buu, the creature who doesn't bear any symbol or any allegiance, is one of these things that will overrun everything. That's when he realizes he needs to become more than everybody else. And that's the crazy part.
No, yeah,
it's in that essence, he finally realized, he finally gets a sense of humanity, where he's like, I need to save everything, and that's when he finally makes his final sacrifice.
It's controversial, but I'm gonna say it.
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta has more of a character arc than Zuko from The Last Avatar, The Last Airbender.
That is controversial.
I know, and I'm saying it, and I believe it.
I mean, to be honest, Zuko didn't end a war. The Avatar did.
No, I mean, that's true. But at the same time, what I'm saying isn't wrong.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he had, it's the same, it's kind of the same idea, when people said, oh yeah, Harry Potter is all a lie. It's Snape that was the main character the entire time. It's no, he wasn't the main character. Yeah, it's the biggest twist in the story, but it's not that the story was about him at all. It's it's a very big twist in the story, but it's not about him.
Heck yeah. Aliens. Hell yeah.
Aliens. Amazing aliens.
Aliens. We haven't gotten to games yet.
We haven't.
Where are we at?
Fucking A.
Minute 12. Cool. We're doing good.
A minute 12.
Good times.
We're at a minute 12, you guys.
Games. So I'm gonna start with the games.
Okay.
Gears of War. You ever play Gears of War?
Half of the first one.
I played 1, 2, and 3. I haven't played past that. But I've had good times with those games. Right?
Fair.
They do deal with aliens. But
they do.
Obviously they do.
Obviously.
If you've ever played Gears of War games, you realize aliens.
Yeah. Okay, so this is this was a thing back in the day. It was either you were a Halo fan or you were a Gears of War fan. It was a thing.
You can't be both.
It was a thing. It was a thing. Either you played Gears or you played Halo.
Well,
and then it was
obviously Gears came out after Halo, right?
Yeah.
But I only got into Gears of War because my little brother Taylor was into Gears of War. And so it's oh, let's play Gears of War together. So we did. And I didn't hate it. I loved it. We got through the campaign together. It was a whole thing. Me and my little brother playing video games together. And that's why I love fucking Gears of War. Is because I was able to connect with my little brother through that connection of the whole thing. and I find the story to be compelling.
To be honest, I had like... I can agree with the idea of like bonding over with a sibling with a game type. It's just that game type for me wasn't Gears of War, it was Halo. So
because you're old.
Yeah, I'm older. but at the same time, when Gears came out, like I was super like involved in like trying to become a professional Halo player, and then I was like, hey, Gears came out, and then I was like, why focus on a game that's not going to make like that just came out when this other game is
already established.
Yeah, already established and possibly one of the greatest competitive online games at the moment. And I was like, why bother with Gears?
Dude, when Halo 2 came out, it was just like, that looks so fucking crisp.
I mean, Halo 2 was like out for like a good year and a half before Gears came out. And when Gears came out, I was like, that's when like, it came out like a few months before Halo 3 came out. And when that happened, like that's when you saw the biggest shift in like gaming. And it was like, oh, okay, so you got like this big attention on 2 and its giant community, and it just got dissolved into like Gears of War, Halo 3, and then Halo, even Halo 1 was still a thing around Halo 2 era. Like if you were a true Halo 2 player, competitive Halo 2 player, you were also playing Halo 1 competitively, like on proxy servers.
I remember when the 10th anniversary of the first Halo, they came out with a revision version of Halo 1. And they had like all the old maps and everything to play online. They had the old missions you could play. You could play in between like the reversioned version of them. Like, oh, this is how well we could put it now compared to like this is how it was back then. You could just push a button and be like, oh, this is the shitty version and this is the revisioned version.
Yeah.
You know? And a 10-year aspect of that, looking at it now, isn't much. If you were looking at a 2-decade version, so much more crisp.
Yeah, I believe it. Because, like, okay, so this is the funny thing about, like, Halo 1 in general. Like, it took... this is one of the stupidest things, too. It's like, it took of clean shots, like clean bullets, to a hunter. If you got, like, 16 pistol shots, which will kill like probably like 4 elites. If you put 16 bullets into a hunter, that's what it took to kill it. But if you just simply walk up to it and it raises its arm, and then you finally rotate, if you rotate behind it and you slap in the back, and if you melee in the back, instant death.
Yeah.
And that was the funny part. And it was like once you learned stupid shit like that, it was like, oh yeah, well, this invisible character, if you see it do its animation, you can get behind it and kill it really quickly. That's the thing that drew a lot of people in towards like killing the campaign mode real quickly.
Yeah. And
like if you were insane with the with your aim, like you could 3-shot anything in that game with a pistol. Like, you didn't have to go through the damn thing with an assault rifle. You could walk through the game with a pistol the entire game.
Dude, the first Halo with a pistol?
Yeah, you could walk through the entire game with a pistol. Literally, you could 3-shot everything.
OP.
Yeah, you could 3-shot. Like, at most, you could 3-shot everything.
I'm so mad at how like un-OP it was after that though.
But simply, like, if you were really good, you could 2-shot everything in that game. Like, all the normal, like, average characters, you could 2-shot those things. Like, if you had like a fucking like a shielded grunt, you could shoot its hand and then pop it in the face and it would die. That's 2 shots. It's a simple 2 shots. If you had a platinum grunt in front of you, headshot, 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 death every time. If you had an elite, 3 headshots, pop, 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 dead. If you had a hunter, all you had to do, 1 shot to the dome, it raises its hand, you get behind it, slap it in the back. It wasn't even a fucking bullet. It was 1 bullet.
Heck yeah. Games. Gears of War. What other, like, I mentioned Gears of War. We got into a whole different discussion. What do you have?
I have Borderlands. Fucking Borderlands. About the goddamn...
In case you couldn't tell,
goddamn Badlands.
While I was drinking my drink. Hell yeah.
Fucking Badlands all together.
Borderlands. Something me and Darren played together. Borderlands 3. In general, I guess.
Well, I played it since the first one. The first one was amazing.
I've played it since the first one. I haven't played it on the PC when it first came out. But I definitely played it when it first came out on console.
Yeah.
And me and my friends, while I was in high school, I'm sure Darren was past high school at this point, when Borderlands first came out.
Oh, I played it in high school. It was around then.
Wasn't, not even past PC, when it first got into console.
Yeah.
When it first got into console,
Yeah.
You were in high school?
Yeah. I was in high school when it came out on console.
So,
it was around a lot.
When I remember it coming out on console, was my junior year of high school.
That's probably like, yeah, I would agree. That's really close to like the time it came out. I would agree.
When it came out on console, I remember it coming out my junior
because
high
I
school.
remember like
I only remember that because we were on the top floor of Kunlani dormitory.
Fair.
It was near the beginning, and when we first started playing it, we played it between my Xbox and my other friend's Xbox. And we used, what the fuck is it called? Ethernet cables.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that was a thing.
Yeah, you had to LAN your systems.
Yeah, and so we connected our systems that way so that it wouldn't have any lag at all. So that 4 people could play at a time. So
really? That's what you guys had to do?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Because the internet at the dormitory was relatively slow.
Okay.
Believe you me.
To be honest, I mean, I agree with that. Like, what me and my friends did is we used the T1 system at Coconino High School. So they since I was a part of the AV club, very shortly, I had access to the T1 router, which is like for anybody that's interested, that's pretty much what you get locally now as a 1 gigabyte LAN system. So I had that back when like 20 years ago, just to keep you up on the broadband connection you guys got. Companies have had this shit for a long time. They're just now allowing citizens to have it, which is weird. But the idea behind it is like, literally you could have a ping of like 10, which is almost like it's almost unnoticeable between people. Like literally, like you have to have like a frame rate of like 120, which was unheard of in the day. Like the frame rate back in the day was like 40 to 60, and that game, like if you were down to a 10, you were fucked. You were like you're pretty much frozen in your system. But the entire time, like this is the thing between me and my friends. We hooked up to the T1 system, and we were able to. When we hooked up to the T1 system, we simply just streamed. Well, we broadcast that connection as a hub to a lot of us within the area, and since we were like literally like 1 or 2 blocks from the school, we all had like a super good connection to the idea until the school caught on to it. Because a lot of people didn't understand electronics back in the day. They just thought that a hub was a thing, and they didn't think that broadcasting a signal to a certain IP was weird. No, like they never picked up on the idea that like me broadcasting a signal to my hub to attach my IP to their signal was a thing. They didn't think that was scandalous at all. But since I lived like 3 blocks from the school, I was like, they were like, "Hey, why is this right here?" I'm like, because I'm a part of the AV club and I need to monitor what's going on. They're like, but there's like a lot of information being traveled. I was like, yeah. I was like, you guys have a lot of shit on your internet. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I was like,
this is you, not me.
I was like, you guys have a shitload of internet. Like, you have a shitload of people using the internet. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. They're like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, you have a shitload of people using the internet. I mean, I'm just monitoring it. But that allowed me to hide, like, obviously our IP and our VPN, and we just like, it just became a thing. We had really good internet.
Yeah. We're on games, right?
Yeah, we're on games.
Sure.
But Borderlands.
Fucking
good story.
Great story.
Dude, oh my god. One of the best things about the Borderlands story is the fucking Guardians.
You're talking about the aliens, right?
Yeah.
The
So the Guardians are, and this is to date. I played Borderlands 3. Finished it.
We played Borderlands 3.
Okay, so I finished it. I've finished Borderlands. I'm just kidding.
We have finished Borderlands 3.
No, fuck you. I've gone through the Guardian Assault too.
Sure, but we finished Borderlands 3.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just fucking around. But like in Borderlands 3, they finally like develop a lot more upon the idea of the Guardians and what they're about and what they're actually protecting. And I think that's amazing. That's just goddamn good storytelling, because that's like a story like 10 years in the making, which is really good. Like
which is technically 10 years in the making. Yes.
Yeah. It's fucking it's fucking cool, because in the it was like in the first Borderlands, it was like kind of a hidden secret where like you kind of got like it was a big secret if you got your hands.
The only thing that the alien guns would tell you is like, oh, this gun goes pew pew pew.
No. They didn't. The alien guns didn't even do that. They just said they were Guardian weapons. That's all they said, is that they're Guardian weapons. And then in the second iteration, there was like, oh yeah, well, Guardian weapons have blah 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 attached to them, and then it was like, and then like they slowly started like developing upon what Guardian weapons were, and Guardian armor was, and what Guardians were.
I've never actually finished the pre-sequel.
I finished all of them, dude. I love Borderlands.
Like, I love Borderlands, but I feel like I didn't have the person to like finish the pre-sequel with.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I never finished the pre-sequel. I finished 1, 2, and then I did 3 with you.
Okay. But you didn't do the pre-sequel.
I've never finished the pre-sequel.
Oh, okay.
I've gone through like I feel like a quarter at least.
So
of the pre-sequel.
Have you done the Handsome Jack series?
The Handsome Jack series also includes the pre-sequel, so no.
Yes. Okay. That kind of sucks because like the Handsome Jack series is like I feel like it's a little crucial to the story.
I agree. I feel like Jack was actually like what do you call it? Hero in the pre-sequel, correct?
Sort of. A little bit.
Like
you don't want to agree with it, but like kind of.
I mean, I agree with that. But in Borderlands 2, definitely, he's a villain.
No, like the entire time you don't want to agree, like you don't want to say that Jack's not a villain because there's been games that led up to like, hey, Jack's
villain.
The fucking villain.
The villain.
The villain.
Jack's yeah. Borderlands 2, he's the villain.
Yeah, and then you play the Handsome Jack series, and it's like, fuck. It's like maybe he's not.
Maybe not.
Then it's just like, fuck.
But he fucked a lot of people over.
He did.
In 2, right? Compared to pre-sequel.
In the Handsome Jack series, like essentially he's being cucked from the very beginning, and then the way he gets over being cucked is becoming a supervillain.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
instead
of being the guy that's being stepped on, you become the guy stepping on everybody else.
If that wants to be a series in itself, in terms of us like being a series in itself, like people getting fucked over, Jack is one of those people getting fucked over.
Yeah, like essentially, that's like essentially the American dream. Is like, if you don't want to be the guy that's being fucked over, you got to be the guy fucking over everybody else.
Yeah. Sure, that's great. So, moving past Borderlands.
Yes.
Am I cool moving past Borderlands?
Yeah,
at this point?
You good with that?
Games. In terms of games, can we not say that Bungie 343 Studios?
Yeah. What about it?
Past 343 Studios has put out one of the greatest games ever made.
You talking about Bungie or 343?
So Halo.
Halo I recognize as a Bungie product.
Yeah.
Not a 343 product.
Sure. But past Halo 3, it is a 343 Studios project. Correct?
Yes. I agree with that.
But with Bungie, past Halo 3, Destiny is a Bungie product.
Is their product, yes. I agree with that entirely.
And Destiny, many people like to hate on it. But also, at the same time, a lot of people like
super love it.
To love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I loved it when it was like the original Destiny, and it was amazing. And like, I loved it because I could jump into like, so aside from the So this is one of the first developmental things about it, is that I started playing Destiny competitively right after Halo, and I was like, okay, well I could just jump into Destiny because it's a Bungie project, and I was like, okay, cool. I jumped straight into Destiny, started slaying, and then I realized a lot of the people were killed that I was fighting against. They weren't beating me because they were more skillful. They were beating me because they had legendary armor, legendary guns, and a lot of legendary stuff that I didn't have because I was a lower level. So one of the things I did is that I took the very base weapon that they had, which was super overpowerful. I kept that gun. I leveled myself up to have super great armor, super great, a really good armor and really good light. But the funny thing is that the original weapon they give you, a lot of people get rid of. But that weapon they give you in the beginning is ridiculously overpowered at high levels if you use it at high levels. So if you just keep your original weapon, and this is the thing that they turned off in the in the first iteration of Destiny, is that your original weapon you can't play with in competitive games because that gun is ridiculously overpowered. According to your light, according to your stats, everything. Like if it is scaled to who you are in terms of the game, once it scales up to that potential, it is a ridiculous gun. It has a ridiculous fire rate, it has ridiculous accuracy, and it has ridiculous damage per shot. So the DPS is high, the accuracy is high, and the fire rate's high. So it's like it just fucking melted people in any matchmaking game. And I laughed my ass off because people with hand cannons were like, "Oh, I got the best hand cannon in the game. How the fuck did this person just come up to me and kill me?" I'm like, I just jumped on, and you know what I did? I had a fucking better aim than you did. But I didn't realize at the time that I was using a gun that was super OP in the system.
So to be honest, I have nothing to say to that.
Yeah.
The game has everything to do with aliens.
Yes, it does.
Everything to do with aliens.
Yeah, the Traveler.
The big ball in the sky that you see.
Yeah.
That in Destiny 2 you realize breaks apart and then comes back, reactivates itself, all that jazz.
Yeah.
I love this game because of the story.
Now, dude, I love this story too. You're the light of the Traveler. That's
the story that progresses within each passing season. They have 4 seasons every year. 4 seasons. They have the one big DLC that you pay to download for.
Yeah. And this game's been out since 2015, and it has 4 seasons since that. What is that, 20 seasons right now? Jesus.
I have no clue how many seasons this is into. But, I've been there for it.
Yeah.
I've been there for it. Me and my older brother have been there for it.
To be honest, I want to go through it.
We still play it. And it's something that's been there since the beginning of their arrival. And it's something that I don't want to not be there for. I want to be a part of the story that happens. There's a point, this next season, they're taking out 4 worlds. And the vanilla campaign that's been a part of those 4 worlds is gone. you won't be able to experience the beginning of Destiny anymore.
What? Really?
Really. Because there's so much added to it to where they can't keep adding more gigabytes to it to where they can leave this part of the story that they want to tell, that's been told since the beginning of Destiny 2. They can't leave they can't leave it there because they don't have the gigabytes to like take over someone's system. If they were to leave it there, the story would be over 100 gigabytes on your system.
Yeah, no. I get that in the same sense that like Apex has finally this is like Apex is in season 6 right now. Mm-hmm. And this is their first time being a part of the root takeover. Like, they are now like, if you want to play Apex, you are now a part of their root system.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be a part of their root system to play the game.
And within Destiny 2, like if you buy Destiny 2 right now, right, you can play the vanilla campaign. You can play past the 2 to 3 vanilla campaigns.
Yeah.
But after November 10th, you won't have that chance, which is something different.
I feel like that needs to be like a different part of the game.
That is so crazy, though. Like, I don't think the game has ever done that, to where they had to get rid of their beginning of this source material to where they are now, because they couldn't fit it into what we want for them storytelling wise.
I mean, that's essentially just Halo 1 into Halo 2.
Because they a year ago, almost a year and a half ago, they split off from a AAA company.
Yeah.
And they started their own thing where Destiny.
Yeah, they're independent now.
Yeah. Destiny is an independent thing.
Yeah, Bungie finally became an independent studio.
In terms of Destiny.
Yes.
And so they had to like do their own thing for like almost over a year.
Yeah. And that's the same thing.
Like, and that's important in terms of a game studio.
Yeah.
That is very, very important.
It's super important because like you're when you're talking about like anything digitally, you're talking about a shitload of different things. Because one, you got to have somebody that's willing to allow you on their platform.
Yeah.
And then two, you got to be able to have somebody that's allowing you to code on their platform.
So first off,
there's just so many layers to it. It's crazy.
Activision was like, okay, so you're gonna have to put out new game, an entirely new game every 3 years.
Yeah.
So there was Destiny 1, that was done with Activision. Destiny 2, done with Activision. And then they split off from Activision in Destiny 2. Within the 3 years that Destiny 2 was put out, which is back in 2015 actually, I think Destiny 1 was put out in 2012. So 2015 was Destiny 2, and then after that they were like, we don't need to put out any more Destinies because we can expand upon this section of gaming without having to put out a new whole storyline. You know, like each year we can put out a new DLC.
Yeah.
For $40 and not have to charge anyone more than that.
Yeah, they could charge you the DLC price and then just continue upon the story and they're willing to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they don't have to say like this is Destiny 3 and it's only an iteration of Destiny 2 or an iteration of Destiny 1.
Exactly. And it's I don't know. It's just
And
it's just fucking great.
I love the way that companies are doing that nowadays, because
Where they're not trying to
they're not trying to I feel like that is a very good way for games to go, because
I'm sorry, I think we need to take a break real quick because I need to take a piss like a motherfucker.
Go take a goddamn piss, because I want to expand on stuff. God damn it. I want to expand on so many goddamn things, but just go take a goddamn piss, man.
It's break time! Hey, so you might have taken a slight break, and you might notice that through the noise that you just heard.
Yeah.
Break time!
Because, time cuts.
But yeah, Destiny, in essence, is obviously an Alien-esque type of game, and it has so much story. If you want to learn more about Destiny, I know it's hard. I know it takes up so much time in your day, because I took so much time out of my day to learn about Destiny. But go listen to the
I don't know, dude.
The Lord of Lords in terms of Destiny. Bife. My name is Bife. He has all the stories for you. He has all the stories for you in terms of Destiny. And you should look him up if you're interested in getting to Destiny. Right now, it's I'm not sponsored, but right now it is free for you on Steam if you're not looking to buy any of the expansions other than the vanilla expansions before the next season.
And everybody loves vanilla right now, because vanilla.
But yeah, I believe it is actually 2.5 hours long in terms of the entire
storyline
telling of Destiny, and that's just the basics of Destiny.
I mean, really, super into it. Destiny's been going on for a while now.
And that's just saying something to the point of Destiny, actually, that the people in Bungie are really putting out A+ S tier subjects in Destiny, because they have put so much into this project. They are constantly putting so much into the project for it, just the basics of it to be 2.5 hours long, if not
just
more.
The fact that it's gone on, that this series has it's literally barely into Destiny 2, and it's been over 12 years. That's crazy. It's some thought process went into that, because my idea of the first Iron Banner was way back when they first introduced the idea of the Iron Banner. Dude, when it was a beta, and I was like, oh shit, the Iron Banner? No way. And then the Iron Banner is now just a thing in Destiny.
I mean, if you don't know the story behind Iron Banner, you don't even deserve anything right now.
The Iron Banner is some top tier stuff right there. You just gotta get into it. But
yeah, in terms of aliens, yes, Destiny definitely falls into that category. What are we doing next?
Apex.
Oh yes, your game. Your last game.
Yeah, my last game is Apex, which is supposedly a part of the Titanfall series, where you're technically one of the legends of the Titanfall series.
I still find it hard for it to be a part of the Titanfall series.
It has a lot of the mechanics of Titanfall. It just doesn't have the full expanded grapple / skid mechanics of it, and slide mechanics of it, / Titanfall mechanics of it. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of mechanics that they left out of the Titanfall series, and like a lot of people are waiting for them to become a part of the series. But when you truly look at Apex, all the weapons and all the attachments and everything from Apex is from Titanfall. It's just that the characters have specific abilities that you would normally have in Titanfall. So they're essentially just masters of the abilities within Titanfall.
Sure, and like I don't hate the fact that it's part of Titanfall series, right? My only thing is that, like, why are there never any, like, Gundam suits?
Any Titans in there?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Dude, like, everybody asks that. Like, it's like, is there a Titan suit in there? It's like, no, I'm sorry, but that's mainly because they wanted Apex to be a competitive game. And it's kind of hard to be a competitive game where you literally have a fucking Gundam suit, like a suit of literal suit of armor that will dominate the entire lobby if you're good enough. So it's like, all right, well, it's like I can't put this overpowered weapon.
Do you imagine them having that at some point?
If it ever happened, I imagine it would be like a kind of like a. Not an AoE event, but like more like a limited release event where they do like kind of like a like a limited release event where like you're essentially a Juggernaut character, and your Juggernaut is essentially a Titan, and you have like rare weapons as your abilities. I would think it would happen in that way, because obviously your main like turret weapon would be a devotion.
So what you tell me is that no.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Probably not, and I would agree with it. Like,
yeah, probably not. Like
probably not.
Like it'd be hard to create a scenario where like there is a competitive feel towards like a one versus all scenario.
Yeah, that makes sense. In terms of the characters, though, have you ever played the Titanfall series?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. Only after Apex, though. But, like...
Have you ever seen, like, something that's coincide between Titanfall and Apex?
Yes. It's only in the sense that, like... Okay, like, there's obviously, like, in Titanfall you get grapples, and then you can have, like... In the Titanfall series, you have wall jumps, wall slides, and wall rides / like wall running. That doesn't happen too much in Apex. There is a character who can do grappling, and all characters can wall jump / wall ride, but they don't, like, you gotta be kind of skilled to do that. Like, it's not a normal function, but it is a function if you know how to do it. So, if you're... Obviously, that, like, the entire game's skill-based. So it's essentially, like, if you play this shit enough, you're gonna be overpowered. In the sense that you have more skill than somebody else. If you have, you have to build up your skill within the game, and then once you build your skill up within the game, you're obviously going to be way overpowered than somebody who just started. Because, like, to be honest, if you just get a person in the game who just, like, say somebody's familiar with what an FPS is.
First-person shooter, in case you don't know.
Yeah. Say somebody knows what a first-person shooter is, and they spawn into the game, and they're like, "Oh, okay. So I can see my character. I can pick a place where I can land, but I don't understand the loot table. I don't understand the weapons. I don't understand how the recoil reduction works, or how recoil control works." Yeah, obviously you're gonna shit all over that guy the first time he's ever played. So that's the thing, is that once you dive into those small details of like, oh, I can control the recoil, once you start realizing you control the minutia, that's when you become a really good player. And then that's when you have to start thinking about like what other players are doing. That's when it becomes like, oh, I need to have strategy. I need to like think, what is the other player gonna do? What's gonna happen?
I don't mean to bring it back to the point, but I do actually. How does this relate to Aliens?
Oh, so this is a multi-planet system, which technically means a lot of the characters are aliens.
Which is your favorite alien character?
Bangalore.
Yeah. Where is she from?
Unknown. She is unknown. She is a.
Sorry, that just seems like a throwaway thing to do.
No.
Just where is she from? Unknown.
So
cool. Thanks.
But that's the main thing I recognize with when she is one of the original characters. But
I agree. Yeah, she is. She's one of my favorite characters actually. If one of my characters get chosen, I just go straight to Bangalore.
Yeah. So Bangalore is my favorite character, mainly because she is unknown.
She's your main.
Yeah, she is my main actually. But the idea is that like she is a part of the Marine Corps, but she's not from any planetary system. She's just one of the main characters from she's just trying to get back to the Marine Corps. But she'd be in her quest to become to get back to the Marine Corps, she becomes a legend in the Apex games. And that's what Apex is. It's the Apex isn't a part of any war. It's just a game. And she's a military soldier within a game that's just trying to get back to the military.
Would you say it's almost like the Hunger Games?
Yes, I would, because they are competing within arenas that are sanctioned for their games. They're competing within different planets for their game.
In terms of Apex Legends, I'm sure my question has very much to relate to a lot of people's questions, which is, what are those big fucking tall things that are walking around?
The Leviathans?
Yeah.
So, that's only on one planet.
Sure, that's only on one planet, but what are they?
They're just Leviathans.
Do they matter at all?
I mean, kinda. On one planet. You can't say that they matter on other planets where they literally don't exist.
But
because okay, so in this sense, the new planet that they went to doesn't have those creatures.
Sure.
So they're in the same sense, they're trying to introduce another planet, which is a home planet, to two main characters. Two main characters.
Who are the two main characters that you're talking about?
Lifeline and Octane. Lifeline and Octane came from the same planet.
So they're opposite, though.
Kinda opposites.
No, not even kinda. They are.
Okay,
opposites.
so yeah. One uses a stimulant to drain their life, but the other one uses a stimulant to give life.
Yes.
So, in that sense, yes, they are opposites. But they came from the same planet.
Did they?
Yes, which is called Olympus. And that's the new planet they're trying to introduce.
In terms of in terms of Titanfall series,
Yes.
how many of these planets have actually already been introduced?
In terms of Titanfall,
Yeah. Do you know?
I don't.
Okay.
So, I know that but the only thing I know about, like, as far as Titanfall series, is that the corporations that are involved, like Hammond Corporation, and the Syndicate Corporation. There's two corporations and the Syndicate that are involved, and they're all like competing entities,
quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote entities within the universe, and they're like, so when they compete against each other, obviously Hammond has one, like Hammond is one of the robotics, which takes, I guess, influence from like Hammond robotics and Hammond technology from today's era.
Hammond.
Yeah, it's an actual company today.
Does that relate to Jurassic Park?
It also relates to Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hammond. It's a weird technological company that's a real company today, and people like the people try to connect to it in this weird way through science fiction, and it's like, oh yeah, well, it's a made up thing. It's like, no, it's not. It's a real company.
Sure.
It's kind of scary, but at the same time, it's a fictional thing within Apex. It's a fictional company within Apex that's taking over planets, and they're just fighting against it. Like, apparently Hammond's one of those syndicate corporations, and the legends are just fighting.
Yeah.
For the entertainment.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Apex Legends.
Yeah, Apex Legends. Cool storyline. If you ever followed.
I've never followed it. But hell yeah. Nothing else to touch on except for music. And me and Darren talked about this quite a bit because it feels like we've been very lightly touching on music.
Yes.
And I feel like it's something that me and Darren very much feel very what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. You look like you want to have like strong feelings towards it. Though.
Yeah, well, we do have strong feelings.
I mean, we do. Yes.
But it's something we very much feel strongly towards.
Yeah.
And every week it feels like it's something that isn't strongly represented.
Yeah, it feels like we don't represent music strongly enough because it's just... it's one of the things we want to talk about a lot, but we don't do it enough.
And so one thing we're going to start implementing is Song of the Week,
yes.
Which I previously have done on my previous podcast called Top Shelf. And every week I always reposted the Song of the Weeks onto that, which I'm going to just use me and Darren's Song of the Weeks and just post on top of the Song of the Weeks we have on top of that.
Yeah, because You know what?
Like, why not?
Music's just great all around. Like everybody can. Music doesn't have to be Interstellar. It doesn't have to be anything really.
Yeah.
Like
and I feel like if we try to like
confine music
into some sort of thing like aliens, like if we want to like go into aliens within music, sure, we can find something. But if we
just talk about music in general,
we're gonna miss out on the things we love most about the music we're listening to.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first because I've been listening to the song for quite a while, past few weeks.
Sure.
I've shown Darren probably like at least 3 or 4 times.
No.
No.
Hard no.
It's a hard pass.
Hard pass.
But at least...
No, I'm just fucking around. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Once or twice.
I'm sorry.
The song... my song of the week, apparently, is Something Right by Microwave. And it just tells a strong love story between 2 people who tend to make it more about a loved one than themselves. I guess is the best way I can most basically put it. And it's, I don't know, it just gets me. Something Right by Microwave is my song of the week.
I gotta take a piss.
What? You're taking a break right now? Like,
I mean, I can talk about what I want to have as my song, but I gotta take a mad piss.
It's break time! What is your song of the week?
Oh, God. This is a great song.
Is it?
Yes.
I mean, you fucked me over talking about my other song.
I mean...
You did.
No.
You did.
I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
You did.
I let you get through the entire thing.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No, you did let me talk about the entire thing.
Yeah.
But then...
It was a great thing.
You just let it fall off so fast.
But...
And that's your fault.
I feel like this thing complements it so well, though.
Does it?
Yeah. Simple Man.
Like
by Leonard Skinner.
15 minutes after it was mentioned.
No, like... Leonard Skinner. Simple Man. I was like, oh... Just that idea. It's like... The entire, the entire song is about just being humbled by being a simple person. Great song. I've been listening to it all week. Amazing. Amazing vocals, just great tune, just fucking good. Leonard Skinner nailed it with that shit. Do you not agree? You're looking at me like I'm wrong.
It's a good song.
It hits a lot of good notes.
It's a good song. My only problem with it is that you.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm the problem with the song.
You're the problem with the song.
I'm the problem with the goddamn song.
Which has nothing to do with the song itself.
That's fair. I was like, God damn it. It's like, I ruined the song.
You ruined the song. Yeah. And that's the point. That's a hard point to stand.
And you know what?
It's because it's a fucking great song.
Yeah, it is a great song.
It's a not. You say it's a great song. I say it's a fucking great song. It's a fucking great song.
And this is why I thought it was like a good follow-up to your song. And I was just like, you know what? We could have a great goddamn discussion about this.
What was my song?
Oh my God.
Tell me what my song was.
Fuck your song.
I
don't remember your song, so fuck you.
You can't even name my song.
Nope. Can't remember your song because my song was a great song.
Because fuck you.
Because my song, great song.
Because you couldn't remember my
great song to end on. Because that's all I remember. All I remember is that my song was the best song to end on. Good song. Disagree?
I feel like...
Let's go! Let's get this. Get this. Come on.
Let's stop talking.
Okay.
I feel like my song bears more emotional aspect more than your song could ever do.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's my song called?
I don't know.
Yeah. Because you've never took emotional aspects into my song.
What's your song's name?
I've told you the song.
No?
I've given you the song. I've shown you the song beforehand.
Oh, God damn it.
This is your fault and not mine.
This is fair?
This is your fault and not mine.
This is fair? God damn it. Now I gotta remember shit. It's not fair.
But to remind the viewers
Yes.
that my song was called Something Right by Microwave. And if you want to hear it right, hear it raw, you can look it up on YouTube. Something Right by Microwave. I'm not saying that Darren's song is wrong to be the song of the week, because it's not. That is a fucking great song. I am just saying I feel, Urian, me here as a person, Urian Lee, that Something Right is a better song than Leonard Skinner. What's the song called again?
Oh my god. You forgot my song? Oh my god. It's one of the most popular goddamn songs ever. Oh, Jesus.
And
this horrible. This is horrible.
And this is my point. This is
horrible.
And this is my point.
This is horrible. I've mentioned my song like 3 times. He's mentioned his once.
I've mentioned mine 5 times.
Fuck you.
Actually.
Go fuck
and
yourself.
I remember all 5 times.
Oh, Jesus. You remember the coffee, though?
But this is my point.
Coffee's amazing.
This is my point.
Because coffee's amazing.
Song of the week,
fuck, I just
for
spilled
me,
it.
Something Right by Microwave. Your song of the week by Leonard Skinner.
What is it?
You tell me.
Oh, goddamn, okay. Simple Man.
Yes.
Like saying that reminds me of a fucking like Tropic Thunder where it was like Simple Jack.
Simple Jack. Oh, motherfucker. So this is the last part we get into at the end of this night. Our favorite drink of the night.
Like saying it out loud.
Our favorite drink of the night.
Instead
right? What was your favorite drink of the night, Darren?
Shit, we had a few.
We've had a few. Yes, you're right.
So it's to be honest, it's got to go with the Handbrake. Handbrake is amazing. Like, if you ever come to Arizona and you're privileged to go by the Mother Road Brewing Company, they brew their own. Obviously, they brew their own beer, but like, there's a very standard list of their like secret menu. The Handbrake has to top all of them because it's a good mixture between like a microbrew / IPA, which technically what it is. It's a daily driver mixed with Tower Station. Amazing beer. All together. One of my most favorite beers of the night. I've obviously had a few of them before we started the podcast, and I'm going to stick with it. Great beer. What do you got for a good beer of the night?
What is a fucking thing called? Smooth something.
Smooth something. Okay.
You remember what we're talking about? Because we were talking about it earlier tonight. You were like, "Oh, this just tastes like a Bud Light," and I was like, "No, it has so much more accents to it than a Bud Light."
The Sunday Drive?
It's not a Sunday Drive. It was
I I feel like it was the Sunday drive.
It was not the Sunday drive. Sunday drive, I told you, was
Fruity.
a fancier.
Yeah, and I
PBR.
feel like that's the only thing that I've.
But the first thing on our list, that's why I'm looking for it. Where's your list?
My list is right here. It's not on there. I guarantee you it's not on there.
That's a different list.
No, it's on the back of it.
Nothing on the back of your list.
No, it's on the back of this list. You see how like there's writing in a different direction? Go the other way. Turn it around. All right, there you go. See how it's in a different direction?
It's not the right list.
It's hard to read, right?
Not the right list.
That's fair.
There was a really light beer. It was lager. I thought I was not gonna like it. It was a smooth something.
Bullshit, it was smooth something.
So Darren says.
Yeah.
But it had like the lightest notes of fruits that it said it had.
That's the fucking Sunday drive, you asshole.
That's not the Sunday drive is lager.
Yeah, and it had a shitload of fruits in it, you dick.
But it was not the Sunday lager you're talking about. Because it was that first drink, which was a lager. You're right. You said it tasted like a Bud Light.
Yeah.
And I told you to taste.
That was the Sunday drive.
No, the Sunday drive was 2 drinks later.
No, it wasn't.
It was!
That was the Barso brew.
Because the next drink we had after that, yours was a stout.
Yes.
Mine was something totally different. It was a Kolsch.
Yeah.
The most basic Kolsch. Then after that, we had the same drink.
Yeah, that was the Barstow.
The blonde.
Yeah, the Barstow Blonde.
But the first drink we had that on the thing.
Which was the Sunday drive.
It was not the Sunday drive.
Fucking punch you. It was the Sunday drive.
It was not the Sunday drive. You can punch me all you want. It was not the Sunday drive.
It was though.
It wasn't.
Okay. Fuck.
Doesn't matter.
It was a light beer. Yes.
That like. Yeah, he had that.
I feel like it was a Sunday drive.
It was not the Sunday drive.
Okay.
I could most guarantee you that it was not the Sunday drive.
Okay.
Because you were like, oh, I'm going to leave it on my fucking tongue for like 2 seconds.
5 minutes. It was there forever.
I'm going to leave it on my tongue for fucking ever. And then
I literally ignored like 5 questions you had. And I was just like, I'm going to leave this here. And I just nodded my head for a while.
You were just being an idiot.
I mean, but I was trying to get the taste out of it.
And you didn't.
I did.
I mean, you did after like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it took a while.
But it was not the Sunday drive.
That was the Sunday drive.
That was not the Sunday drive.
I hate you.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like if it's not the Sunday drive, I'm gonna hate you even more. But like right now, I hate you.
I can guarantee it was not the Sunday drive. But yeah, so
It wasn't the Sunday drive.
I know.
You know what it was?
What was it?
It wasn't low octane. It wasn't low visibility. It was
something.
Something low.
The name that matched
Low
the
something.
best.
Yeah.
I know.
It was low something. I don't think it was low octane.
It was not low octane. No. It was something that matched it the best.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I will leave it in the show notes when I find out.
Fuck.
But
It's crazy. Like, I remember what you're talking about now.
Like, because you couldn't taste it at first, then you're like, I'm gonna leave it in my mouth for a couple seconds to figure this out. Then you found out, and you're like, you know what, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
And then, whatever the fuck. But yeah, I'll leave it in the show notes. We usually promote local breweries. We usually promote Mother Road because that's our favorite
go-to spot. To be honest, that's just the go-to spot.
that's just the go-to spot, and they've come out with a good thing since quarantine, as well. So,
we might do historic next week. Who knows?
Hell yeah, let's do some historic next week.
I mean, we could do historic.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, that might be so that's a thing. We could do historic next week because I guarantee you, historics would probably getting some things out there.
If you were looking for our songs of the week, I will post that in the description as well. You know what we've been drinking tonight. We want to know what you've been drinking tonight. And we want to know what you want us to talk about in terms of these subjects. So if we miss anything in terms of subjects of aliens, because we obviously have, because we don't want to talk too long to you guys about every single fucking subject, movies, music, TV shows, games, anime. Just let us know. We'll talk about it next time. Okay, cool. Good night.
Yeah.
Have a good time. Let us know what you're thinking. This has been After Hours.
Yeah. Good luck out there.